So we have a bunch of finals here for the women's basketball conferences tournaments. Jimmy will offer at noon Eastern on ESPN Plus. At noon Eastern on ESPNU and ESPN Plus is St. Louis and UMass. My time is set to Central Time. And at 12:30 Eastern on ESPN Plus, we have those first two Summit Belt women's summits because they played earlier on Monday for the Summit Belt Women's Championship. Then the men play at night prime time on ESPN or ESPN2, one of those channels. You know, I mean, you usually don't get much time on there, but I don't know them just because it's men's since midweek. Show games, for their thing. And so it's Old Dominion James Madison at 12:30 p.m. or 12:30 p.m. on ESPN Plus Eastern. At 1 Eastern, Louisville and Virginia Tech on ESPN. In the men's tournaments, there's the Big South and the ASUN are on ESPN2. Both of them, the women's ones or the men's ones, the Big South and the ASUN men's are on ESPN2. Oh, the Power 5 ones are on ESPN. And I remember a time where it used to be like even these low, tiny schools, they would be on ESPN, and the bigger, even the Power 5 women would be on ESPN2. So this is a pleasant surprise, that 3 of the women's ones are on ESPN, and then the men, and then we have number 8 Virginia Tech and Louisville on 1 p.m. Eastern, ESPN Plus, I said, or ESPN, and that, like I was saying, the men's, when there's the Pac-12 and the Big Ten play at the same time at 5 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN2 respectively, and the SoCon tonight is going to be ESPN and U. So yeah, so then we have the American East tonight at 1 Eastern, ESPN Plus, NBC Vermont campus sites, or about South Dakota, third quarter. There's 2 men's playing tonight, and the 2 women playing the first up front, start of the day, or up at South Dakota at 12:30 p.m. Central on ESPN Plus at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Pacific. Noon Mountain on ESPN Plus is Big Sky second round Northern Colorado, Northern Arizona. Tennessee, South Carolina in the 3 Eastern ESPN. 3 Eastern FS Marquette, UConn. 3 Eastern we have Maine, Albany in the American East tonight. At 3 Eastern in the Sun Belt tonight, and that's on campus at Maine and Albany. 3 Eastern we have Ole Miss, Texas State and ESPN Plus tonight. Assembly Corps, Omaha, North Dakota at 4 Eastern on ESPN. At 4 Eastern in the Eastern Corps we have campus sites. The first one we have Eastern Kentucky, Osby. 4 Eastern we have Kansas State, Liberty. At 4:30 Eastern we have Portland State, Montana State and ESPN Plus. Well, it's 2:30 Mountain, 1:30 Pacific on ESPN Plus. At 5 Eastern, 4 Central ESPN, we have Ohio State, Iowa. 2 Pacific on ESPN2, we have Washington State, UCLA, Pac-12 tournament. 2 Pacific, 3 Mountain, Fresno State, Nevada on Mountain West for the first round on Mountain West Network and WatchTM.com. Then we have Stetson FGCU at 5 p.m. Eastern in the ESPN Plus, and at 5:30 Eastern we have TVD Villanova. Villanova still has determined their semifinal opponent with the Crane game. With the Creighton and Seton Hall game. And then Winter plays Villanova at 5:30 Eastern FS1. At 6 on ESPNU and ESPN Plus simulcast. This is going to be on both. We have the Big South final. It is going to be the winner of Campbell High Point taking on Gardner Webb at 7 Eastern ESPN Plus. We have North Alabama Lipscomb in the final ASUN Corps. And then we have San Jose State Air Force and at 5:30 Mountain, 4:30 Pacific. And then at 8 Mountain, 7 Pacific, we have Utah State, Boise State. And then we have a bunch of semis set or the Horizon League semis set, like I mentioned before. And the Big Sky Quarters, like I mentioned before, already set. Southland. And then the West Coast semis already got announced. Is BYU and Gonzaga at 1 Mountain, noon Pacific. And then at 3 Central is Summit League Summit, Kansas City. The 10 seed, they're taking on TBD, winner of tomorrow's game tonight. Or tomorrow's quarter, I believe. And then it is the West Coast Second Summit, at 2:30 Pacific in Portland. And then the Peach League quarters got set. Loyola Maryland and Boston University after Loyola beat Lafayette. They're taking on the 1 seed at 6 Eastern. ESPN Plus, 6 Eastern, ESPN Plus. We have on campus states the quarters are Bucknell Lehigh. At 7 Eastern, we have the 2 quarters. They're playing. These teams are playing each other. And they don't want no one to get an advantage by watching them play their opponent. Their quarter opponent. Unless one happens to get earlier than the other one goes in overtime or something. Maybe then, but otherwise you won't really be able to watch. 7 Eastern, we have Army Colgate and American Holy Cross. And then, yeah, that's it. So, yeah. So, there's an update on that as well. And then the first Summit League semi is at 1:30 Eastern. TB in South Dakota State. So, yeah, so we'll see you then tomorrow for these games and Monday for those games I mentioned. So it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big day, in the world of college basketball.